Tá aqui, tá aqui. Pim, 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 pim. Sim, aqui tem mais vídeos. Temos. Pum, caca, pim, caca, pim, caca. Pum, caca, pim, caca. Pum, caca, pum, pá, caca, pim. Pica, caca, pim, caca, pim, caca, pim, caca. Mais ou menos. Depois eu senti aquele too early. ...928! Eu quero 950. Eu quero 950. Olá, estás bom, delegado? Como é que está esse wagey? Wagey! Sabes que é possível que eu vá ensinar para o IPCA? É possível. Isto não é assim tão hype. Mas para mim é hype. Quanto tempo tem? Isto é uma referência. O caiu aqui é meu colega. Foi meu colega, agora é só amigo. Mas antes era meu colega e amigo. Aprendemos todos a fazer joguinhos. Quer dizer, era esse o objetivo do curso. É assim, se eu ontem mandei o CV, estava a ver os CVs antigos que eu tinha, eram mesmo cringe. Não sei como é que alguma vez fui contratado. Caburro. A cena é, aquilo deve ser chato, deve ser podre, deve ser tudo mais alguma coisa. No entanto, eu quero isso porque são coisas, atividades diferentes para fazer. É uma cena on the side. Está dentro daquilo que eu já faço. Experiências diferentes. Eu acho que devemos tentar seguir. Mas pronto, olha aqui. Garfield. Também tem o Scott da Balhala. Scott da Woz. Yes. Fuck. Gato Field. Oh, Garfield, cala-te! Isto é uma referência. Ele vai me vender coisas. Mas ele faz sempre intros diferentes, não é? Ou esta intro é. Eu não sei porquê na minha cabeça. Ele faz sempre uma intro diferente, mas se calhar é sempre igual.
It's the season of giving. But haven't you already given enough of your
Yes.
data away to be harvested?
É permanente? Bem podre. Também não gosto. Buuuu, intro de merda.
Well, if you've been using ExpressVPN for years like I have, then you have nothing.
Ei, vou já arranjar ExpressVPN. Fala nisso, tenho que fazer uma conta de Netflix. Tenho que fazer uma conta de Netflix para ficar com o primeiro mês e ver Jojo. Essa é a prioridade. Mas supostamente também há mais coisas, tipo Pinóquios e merda.
Wrapping it in a protective bubble called a virtual private network. Then your data
It's a virtual private network.
To its destination, unlocking unrestricted access to the
Achas que o James usa PC sequer? Eu acho que ele usa um PC desligado da net só para editar. E o PC é tipo um Macintosh de 92.
I like to watch the classics like Home Alone, The Grinch, Christmas Vacation, etc. And it can be a pain to find everything on streaming. But with ExpressVPN...
Imagina o gajo a gravar isto. What the fuck is streaming? I don't know. I have this script. This script that makes no sense to me. But whatever. Whatever pays the bills.
I don't have to sweat it. It's like the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
That it is, Edward.
With just a click of a button, I change my geolocation to another country like France.
What the fuck is
and
geolocation?
like magic from Santa himself, everything shows up instantly in beautiful high definition.
Delegado, o Lava já é um engenheiro, meu. Ele via jogar Satisfábrica. Eu via a fazer stream de Satisfábrica. O que é que Garfield tem a ver com o Natal? Há muitas coisas que não têm nada a ver com o Natal que acontecem no Natal, não é? Ou não? Nem sei.
That I can find whatever I need with my ExpressVPN
With
at
my
my fingertips.
ExpressVPN. Yes!
How you can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free by visiting expressvpn.com/massacre or by
For
clicking the
free!
description below.
Foi o Garsta da Miners, yes. É só chegar lá e explodir com
We're
eles.
talking Garfield, yeah! And since this is the December episode, you might be wondering, is there anything Christmas about it? Yeah, there is.
Mas
I'm wearing a Santa hat. Back in the day,
Oh, no.
there used to be this roll of paper that came to your house. It was called a newspaper, yeah. It had a bunch of news and sports crap in it, but there was also comics. Every day, as a kid, I would dig out that comic section and go straight
Eu adorava que isso se transformasse numa review do Paperboy.
to Garfield. It was my favorite, and all it was a cat. A cynical, sarcastic cat who speaks only in thought clouds, who likes to sleep, eat lasagna, and beat up his owner John and his dog Odie. Nevertheless, there was something about it that hooked me, and I collected many of those books that
Eu sei,
archived
mas podia
all
fazer na
the old
mesma.
Garfield strips. Part of the appeal was from being a cat owner. There was a relatability factor. Never before had I seen a comic that made fun of how cats can't make up their mind if they want to go out the door, or how they plan
Acho
out
que
their
estão cães
jumps across furniture.
Eu acho que estão cães a uivar na vizinhança. Que uivanço! Eu acho que as pessoas foram para o Natal e deixaram o cão em casa. Vocês ouvem isto? Não ouvem isto, pois não? Isto é Zelda, não é? Isto é Zelda a responder ao uivar. Ei.
It's a comic about what your cat is thinking. What goes on inside their own minds. That is until Garfield evolved into a more
Ai, desculpem.
generic.
Deixa estar. Já passou. Muito cruel para os bichinhos. Opa, se as pessoas estiverem a trabalhar de casa, eles vão se. Como eu faço, não é? Eles vão se apegar muito. Eu acho que vai ser normal uivarem. Eu não sei se esta uiva muito ou pouco. Acho que é um bocadinho e depois cala-se.
Character.
Mas a maneira como o cão está a uivar é mesmo. Tipo, já quando eu cheguei, eu fui sair de manhã, fui fazer coisas importantes. E. Foda-se, agora parecia uma ambulância. Mas eu acho que é um cão. Foda-se. Opa! O que é que eu ia dizer? A maneira como o cão. Quando eu cheguei, eram para aí 10 ou assim. Ambulância. Eram para aí 10 e meia. E a maneira como ele estava a uivar é uma maneira que parece diferente. É mesmo. Abandonaram-me. Parece isso, estás a ver? Eu nunca ouvi isto antes. Portanto, será que, sei lá, dia 22 foram-se embora ou caraças e o cão ainda está lá? Não sei.
Another thing I loved was the slapstick.
É muito normal
There
as
was so
pessoas
much chaos.
passarem uma semana fora de casa, não é? No Natal. Tipo, irem para os irem para os familiares ficarem lá uma semanita ou assim. É relativamente normal.
chaos and destruction. It often involved food being splattered or someone being whacked in the head. Everyone remembers Odie getting a lot of abuse, but John would get totally messed up.
Eu não conseguia fazer
He's
isso,
falling on
mano.
his face, getting burped through the door. Sometimes it happens in a combo. A pie to the face, his pants get ripped off, and then he's kicked over. These type of exaggerated cartoon physics were new to me at the time, even though it was just a drawing.
Estas animações eram mesmo fixe. Eu digo animações, é tipo esta sensação de movimento aqui no Odie. Vou apontar para o Odie. Eu adorava estes desenhos, por acaso. Era das coisas mais interessantes. Ele dá a tocar no mesmo ponto que...
I could see it moving. Garfield is what taught me how to draw movement.
Sensação de movimento é mesmo fixe. Ele tem razão.
John's facial expressions are so funny.
Mas desenhaste mesmo? Posso ver as tuas cómics? Eu ainda tenho cómics aqui que eu fiz, mesmo podres. Chamavam-se O Chavalo e a Mãe. Anyway.
I think one of the biggest appeals of the character is Garfield's
E era um rip-off de Calvin and Hobbes.
fuck all attitude. He doesn't give a shit. He's the king of laziness, especially when they gave him that monotone voice for the animated show. That's the way for how Garfield talks.
Por acaso, estou-me a lembrar, vocês estão-se a lembrar como é que o Garfield falava? Sabem quem é que eu imagino que seria perfeito para o Garfield? Eu não sei quem é o voice actor, mas sabem quem é que seria perfeito? O Bill Murray. Só que o gajo é demasiado high profile, eu não queria dar a voz ao Garfield, mas acho que eu... Anyway.
Fan of both the show and the strip, eventually, like most things, it became repetitive and predictable. Just think, there's been a Garfield comic every day since 1978. By now, you wouldn't think Garfield would still be such
Pois,
a big
lá
deal
está,
anymore.
perfect cast.
But the internet has given Garfield a whole new life. There's so many fan works and spoofs, it would be impossible to count. There was a Garfield randomizer that mixes panels from different Garfield strips. There was Silent Garfield that removes Garfield's thought clouds. And then there's Garfield minus Garfield, which removes Garfield altogether, making John into a much crazier character than he already was. It's hilarious. And there's the square root of
Eu não sabia disto.
It never ends. There's all kinds of theories, like trying to explain whatever happened to Odie's
Square
original
root
owner,
of minus
Lyman,
God.
who was only in the early comics. The theory goes he was murdered or
What?
captured by John, and
O que é que ele disse? Olha, eu não sabia disso, mas é muito giro. Garfield Scary Scavenger Hunt.
there actually exists a Flash game called Garfield Spooky Scavenger Hunt with an
Spooky?
Easter egg showing
He misspoke! Lame! Anyway.
Lyman chained up in the basement.
Jesus!
I didn't know Garfield had such deep lore. What is it with Garfield?
Eu não sou nerd, eu não sei o que é nada.
Infiltrated our imagination so much. Is there any core meaning? Well, perhaps some of the video games might hold some clues.
Versão Lovecraftian Horror deve existir.
Stupid cat's enduring popularity.
Garfield no Bloodborne.
Or not.
You want to know how many Garfield games there are? No, you really don't. There's too many, and they've been making them since the days of Atari 2600. What you see
Adoro
here
aquela entrada.
developed during the video game crash of '83. It was canceled, but not lost, unfortunately. There's not much to do but hop across a fence
coisa-
while avoiding
Eu adoro aquele splash screen. Desculpem lá, isto são 26 minutos que se vão transformar em 3 horas, certo? Desculpem.
potted plants. Next thing, you're on a rooftop. Oh look, Odie's in the chimney.
Yes.
Like Santa.
There's our Christmas reference. How do you like that? Merry fucking Christmas. Happy goddamn holidays. And while you're at it, Happy New Year. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Arbor Day. Happy World Mosquito Day. And happy birthday, Brian.
Anyway, you encounter this
Okay.
gray hanging creature who I think is supposed to be normal.
Yes.
Next thing, you're in the universe of Odie's eating burgers. And that's about it. It's a 30-second unfinished
What a game.
Atari game. There were tons and tons of Garfield computer games
Happy
in the
shut the
80s,
fuck up.
But when it comes to consoles, there was a Famicom version.
It was called A Week of Garfield. Somehow, it never made it to the NES.
Está-me a faltar a mantinha e os marshmallows. Mesh? Devia ter arranjado hot chocolate e... Fuck, man. Eu estive no continente agora.
In some cases, that's a shame because there's a lot of good games that only came out in Japan. Is this one of those? Or
Yes.
is it the other kind?
Para a semana
The title screen is
Mantinha lasanha.
at least looks like Garfield and
Para a semana acho que vou levar o amplificador para arranjar. O que é que achas, Watson?
Odie. But then Odie runs away.
Toda amarelada.
Garfield says,
Acho que é
"Where are you
normal.
going, Odie?" He's quitting already.
Acho que é normal, não tens
Sign.
muita sorte.
Level 1, you're walking through John's ugly house with tasteless wall colors and randomly placed tables.
Por exemplo, eu podia ir hoje, mas ir no dia 23? Para quê? E aquilo ia ficar ali 24 parado, 25 parado, não é? Mais vale ir na segunda? Não sei.
Cap, what happened? I'm dead? That was fast.
Há uma forma de desamarelar.
Anyway, the goal of the
Fazendo xixi por cima. Retrobrighting. Pronto, aí está. Já está resolvido.
game, I think, is that you're trying to find Odie. I'm dead again?
Yes!
This already sucks. Now there's a spider in my way.
By the way, Watson, ainda tenho que fazer aquela coisa. Eu não sei quando. Talvez hoje? Ir ao... Se calhar voltar a ver o episódio do Action 52 para tirar ideias para mini-jogos. Aquele do porco acho que vai ser o primeiro. Para fazer um
It
mini-jogo.
mimics your movement. Oh, what was that? Did Garfield just turn into a
E depois... Espera aí. E se fosse um... Estou a pensar, como é que podia fazer? Podia ser uma espécie de WarioWare. Só que eu não estou a ver como é que... Eu gostava de fazer projetos separados, mas gostava de os juntar. Ao mesmo tempo. Boa cena, Toga. Sorry, é que a Zelda está aqui a chorar e a ladrar por solidariedade a cães. Eu acho que há aqui cães que foram deixados para trás nas férias do Natal. Oh, Zelda, não é aqui? Peróxido de hidrogênio. Podemos continuar? Quero muito fazer comboios também. Não, desculpem, estou a misturar tudo.
four-legged cat all of a sudden? Yes, actually, that's how you crouch in the game. And it's true, Garfield used to walk on four legs in the early comics, but in the game, it switches back and forth. Every position, whether jumping or whatever.
Oh cão, juro-te, mano. Só porque os outros abandonaram. Só porque os outros abandonaram os cães, não quer dizer que eu é que pago por isso, ó filha da puta.
All look like totally different Garfields. The attack.
Reverte a
you gotta
reação
be kidding me.
química.
That's all you get? Just a wimpy little kick? At first, I couldn't even tell if I was attacking.
Isto é um ataque?
Range is so short.
Oh meu Deus, oh Hudson, este ataque, eu acho que conseguiu. Acho que este ataque é pior do que o do Mr. Jekyll and Dr. Hyde. É o pior do que a Kane. Was this game made by LJN?
Short. It doesn't even go outside Garfield's own hitbox. You gotta get the power-ups. You can throw bones, what look like bombs, and a spread gun. A spread gun. Do you remember the comic where that happened? Where Garfield fired a spread gun at a bunch of frogs and mice? The enemies make no sense.
O Jim sabe que é
How
muito
did
box.
John let
Já
all these
viste?
frogs in his house? Remember that one strip where Liz came over and he was like, "Oh shit, I got all these frogs jumping around." Oh, that John. Then you got all these.
Caramba, ele podia ter dado um bocadinho blur ao texto, não? Não é? Só um bocadinho. Vá lá. Não é? Esborratar. Põe aquilo em... Como é que se diz? Olha, fazia o que fez. A diferença é que baixava a resolução no Paint e depois aumentava outra vez. E assim já ficava... Não?
Jumping around.
Era só mais um passo.
That John. Then you got all these green alien bug things and grey
Mas ele nem
mice.
sequer está a dar pump up... Ai, como é que é? Pump it up a content. tão depressa quanto isso. É. O volume não é assim tão grande. Os filhos dele estavam a melgá-lo para ir jogar PlayStation. Não é?
Health in a second. Damn, knocked me in the air. These mice don't fuck around. When you reach the end of the stage, if you reach the end of the stage, you come to a locked door. Let me guess. You gotta find a key. Alright, I'm gonna go back. Wait, you can't go back. Does that mean I'm
What
fucked?
the heck?
Oh, now I'm just jumping around like an idiot.
I don't know what you're supposed to do. I guess that means I can stop playing.
Never mind. I found the key. Trigger it by jumping in a specific...
Estás a ver aquele momento em que ele diz I guess I have to stop playing? É nesse momento que o Evil Garfield of Death aparece e diz You have to keep playing. Ele, no, you stupid, não sei o quê. Anyway.
Specific spot. What's the point of that? Who puts a key right in front of the door? And this happens on every level. Why even have a locked door if the key is always right there? You're gonna find it. Even if
You're going to find it.
you have to touch every spot on the screen imaginable. It adds nothing to the game except wasted time. At the end of the level, John will say something. It's always just one sentence. What happened?
I don't know. You want to tell me what happened?
May I help you? Yeah, you could give me
This
some
game?
power-ups or a health upgrade or just some tips. Nope, just puts me back in the game. Okay.
Cool.
What can I do for you?
I don't know, John. What can you do for me? What have you done so far? Nothing. You're a waste. You're a useless piece of shit.
Let's challenge.
And this bitch.
What challenge? Hasn't this whole thing been a challenge?
Still looking for Odie?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the goal. Because that's what you were asking. Not that you, had any advice or anything. You just wanted to know. Well, yeah, I am still looking. Asswipe.
Garfield would have given up long ago. Why would he ever be looking for Odie? Garfield would be glad to get rid of him. Garfield wouldn't even get out of bed, except to eat. Maybe if that were the goal, if he's trying to find a massive treasure trove of lasagna, that
Massive?
makes sense.
What the
Cats
fuck?
love lasagna. No, it never made sense. This game is work. A lot of work. Something Garfield would never do. All the levels are pretty much the exact same thing. You just move to the right and get bombarded by hordes of enemies. Too many enemies. Way too many. Birds, duck, and jump.
Olha, ao menos. Sabes o que eu estava a pensar? Do género, foda-se, o caralho dos pássaros nem sequer tem um trail que não seja em linha reta a voar e logo a seguir eles estão aqui a fazer 8. 8?
Okay, the duck down. All right, and then, oh,
Yes!
fucking mouse!
Hey, Mickey Mouse.
All right, I know the mouse is coming. And jump! Oh! Shoot him. Shoot him, shoot him. Oh! Duck under the birds. Jump over the mouse. Ah!
É um bocado. Realmente é um bocado Reddit. Damn.
The big problem is the game doesn't start with much health. And anytime you find more health, it only adds a tiny sliver to the health bar. That's all you get? You gotta be kidding me. There's no post-hit invincibility either. Any enemy can drain all your health in a flash.
Post-hit invincibility. Ele chamava-lhe outra coisa? Não, não era ele. Quem é que chamava? Se calhar era o Dan. Os Grump. Damage boost? Algo desse género.
You know, I happen to notice that if you scramble the words Garfield Odie, you can get Fragile Die.
O Dark Souls of
wanted to point that
Garfield
out.
Comics.
Wait till you get to the bosses. They're near impossible. It's funny they use such obscure Garfield characters. That right there is Fluffy Ned. No, I'm just kidding. It's nobody. Don't you wish you had more health? Well, just play the level over again. Don't get hit so much. Don't you wish you had more ammo? Well, play the level again, trying to save your ammo while not getting hit. Don't you wish you were playing a different game? Well, take the fucker out and throw it in the dumpster.
Yes!
I like that the restaurant says foods, foods, foods. Also, is it just me, or does the music sound like Get Back by the Beatles? Another thing, that spider in the tree reminds me of Jekyll and Hyde, the way it drops down and blocks your way. But at least here the weapons actually work.
Anyway, I'm at the last level now. Wish me luck.
Oh, hi, Odie. Bye, Odie. I guess you just walk past him.
Whoa.
Uh-oh, this is it. Purple Cat Boss.
Oh, no!
Yes, a purple cat throwing knives is the final boss.
Is this
for Boss
Evil
Odie.
Garfield?
And he's hard as shit. Oh, fuck!
Parece Zelda 2?
Ah! Fuck! Ah!
I just gotta hit him with.
Eu não gosto deste plano. Ele está demasiado virado para nós. Eu fico que ele esteja virado um bocadinho mais para o lado.
Ah!
Delay frag.
I just gotta hit him with the bombs. Hit him with the bombs. Hit him. Hit him. Hit him. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. I did it. I did it. I beat him.
What the fuck?
I
White
just gotta find the
Odie?
key, and it's all over. All right, where's the key? Where's? What happened? What? Time limit? There's a
Uma falha
fucking
grave em
time
framing
limit?
a shot.
I
A
can't
mim incomoda,
believe
e a
there's
ti?
a time limit. So not only do you have to get to the boss with optimum ammo and health, but you also have to do it fast as fuck. Well, I'm not doing that. Just one more time.
All right, I'm gonna get him this time. Oh, down to the wire again. 10 seconds left. Oh boy. Oh boy. Is this possible? Is this 5, 4, 3, 2? Oh, there is no key this time.
You saw that, right? I beat the boss and made it through the door. How much farther did I need to go? It's not even worth it. Just one more.
I swear, all I needed was just one more second. All right, you motherfucker. Come on, come on. Yes. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What? No!
Isto faz lembrar. Qual era o jogo que ele jogou com time limit? Era o Street Fighter 2010, não era? Ou 2000?
Just one more
Não sei.
time.
Okay, that was as fast as I could go. 12 seconds left. Oh boy, 10 seconds. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. 5, oh my God, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh shit!
Congratulations, boys. It was easy. Yeah, sure it was. See you again. I hope not.
Kill the game!
Well, there you have
Kill it!
Famicom Classic, a week of Garfield. A week off my life expectancy. This isn't Garfield, it's more like Barfield. This is one of the worst 8-bit shitfests I've ever played. I'm glad it didn't come out in the US, and I'd be even more glad if I never even knew it existed.
I don't think you could top that.
Mete-o dentro de...
But let's
Mete-o dentro de uma lasanha e cozinha.
take a quick look at another Garfield game on the Sega Genesis. It's called Garfield Caught in the Act.
Barfield?
The act-
Tinha que ser, não é?
Never mind.
É uma kind of a... Como é que se diz? Uma piada de puto de 8 anos, mas eu aceito, na boa.
The plot is that Garfield gets sucked into the TV. Yeah, that old cliche that's been done over and over, most notably in the AVGN game. So now Garfield is platform jumping through a bunch
Fartfield
of movie
também.
genres. A classic horror
Se calhar ainda vai a tempo. Ainda vai a tempo dele dizer Fartfield.
stage, a pirate stage, prehistoric, Egyptian, and even a film noir
Damn,
stage
this game looks cool. Eu gosto da 16-bit era. Isto é Mega Drive, não é?
called Casablanca. Man, I miss the 90s when it was still commonplace to reference movies from the 40s.
Cool.
Nowadays, if you make a Casablanca reference, the kids won't know what the fuck you're talking about. At first glance, this is what you want. It actually looks like Garfield.
Garfield Colored
The
Man.
animation is nice, but just try playing.
Também acho que sim. A que eu mais quero, eu estou sempre a dizer isto, a que eu mais quero é SNES.
I dare you. Try playing it for 10 minutes.
Isto é Ghosts and Goblins?
It's not what it seems. It's like chocolate-covered diarrhea. It's a side scroller, but no, it's a sideways, up and down, left and right, up and down, fall back, do it again, left and right, left and right. Who would have thought a Garfield game would be this confusing to navigate? Even when you figure out where
Multicard
you're
também sei
supposed to
coisas.
go,
SNES
a big
quero
part of
tanto.
the trick is not getting hit or missing a jump. If you fall down, you got to do it all over again. Or if you fall in the water, it takes you back, just like the sewers in Ninja Turtles. Garfield wouldn't have the patience for all this, so why should I? I even encountered a glitch. On the prehistoric stage, after beating the boss, a reptilian Odie, the game soft-locked. Nothing happened. So I had to reset the rotten thing and start over from the beginning
Oh my
of the whole
God.
game. I would ask, did they even test this
I would ask. Olha, pera. E password system?
shitty game out? But the answer is yes. According to the end credits, there were 2 lead testers, 4 assistant lead testers, and 14 regular testers. There's no way! On top of the regular levels, there's a stage made up of TV
Oh, come on, deixa o homem saber.
circuits that act
Deixa eu
as the
ser
main
gamer.
hub. This is where the final boss lies, and you'll never guess what this boss is.
Isto é um computador?
What the hell is that?
What the fuck?
It looks like a robot velociraptor with a bow tie and plugs for hands. It doesn't even look like it belongs in the same game. It looks like something you'd see in Vector Man or something. How did this thing get in here?
Eu não me importo que o boneco esteja lá. Eu não me importo com isto. Ele está num computer themed level. Caga nisso.
Looks like something you'd see in Vector Man or something. How did this thing get in here? It would be like playing Super Mario World and all of a sudden Saberwolf shows up. So, I beat 2 Garfield games, and am I proud of it? No. I think they should have ended with the Egyptian level. That was already a
Piadas de resistência.
worthy pain-in-the-ass final boss. It's a giant statue of a pharaoh with the face of John, I think. It's funny to think of John as some kind of high ruler, a king or a god. I mean, he does own a cat, and pharaohs owned cats as protection against snakes and shit. In ancient Egypt, cats were regarded with high importance. They were depicted on the walls of tombs, sometimes even being mummified with their owners. This is rather profound because Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield, will undoubtedly be remembered for Garfield for all eternity. In a sense, he will take his cat to the grave, just like the ancient pharaohs. The pharaoh in the game is John, but does anyone remember who John actually is? Go back to the very first Garfield comic. He's a cartoonist. John is Jim Davis. And perhaps Jim Davis is no mortal man. Maybe he's a reincarnation of an ancient deity, a god. It makes perfect sense.
Oh no.
Why else would everybody still be worshipping Garfield after all these
Vai aparecer uma cabeça gigante de Jim Davis, não vai?
years? And if you scramble the name Jim Davis, you can get Divagism. That's disgusting, I apologize. One more game. Just to throw out one more shit nugget for you, there was a Game Boy game called Garfield Labyrinth. It's a maze game which is essentially a remake of Solomon's Key, which was one of the all-time great puzzle games as an arcade and NES port. This version basically replaces Solomon with Garfield.
Cool.
And gives him some weird weapon to destroy blocks with.
Garfield
That
Theory?
thing? Some appendage on his body? I know what that is. It's never mind. Enough dirty jokes. It turns out this game is based on yet another game called PP Hammer and his pneumatic weapon.
Okay.
PP Hammer? Okay. Yes, it's true. This cat has a dick. Yeah, that was kind of a Ghostbusters reference. Speaking of Ghostbusters, check this out. You're not going to believe this. This game was actually a Ghostbusters game. You're thinking, oh, come on now, but I'm not kidding. Look, compare them side by side. Same games, only the sprites swapped. The Garfield game is the
Oh meu Deus! E o Bill Murray está nos dois jogos?
PAL version, while the North American
Diz-me que o Bill Murray está nos dois jogos.
version is the real Ghostbusters. Yeah, not just any Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters, the animated series with the voice of Lorenzo Music as Peter Venkman, same guy who voiced Garfield. And as we all know, there's one other character in this universe
Lourenço!
who happened to play both
Não
those
sei quem é.
characters as the voice of Garfield in the live-action films and as Peter Venkman in the live-action Ghostbusters. Of course, we're talking about Bill Murray. And
Bill Murray!
that scene in Zombieland, you know, when the whole movie hits the brakes and becomes a Ghostbusters parody. What is the other movie that Bill Murray references in that scene?
Do you have any regrets?
Garfield, maybe?
What is it with Garfield and Ghostbusters? Why are these two separate franchises so closely linked together? Anyway, about the game. You might be wondering what it was originally called in Japan. Was it Ghostbusters or Garfield? It was neither. It was Mickey Mouse 4! Fucking hell.
Mickey Mouse?
Mickey
Mouse.
Eu acho que tive este jogo, ou pelo menos um dos jogos do Mickey Mouse desta franchise. E acho que foi o meu primeiro jogo da Game Boy.
Can you think of any
Não
other
era este,
game, any other
certeza.
media in the history of civilization that went from Mickey Mouse to Garfield to Ghostbusters? I don't know how this came to be, but it sort of piques your curiosity, doesn't it? But hang on, if this is Mickey Mouse
Hold on.
4, then what about Mickey Mouse 3? Well, the game that was known in Japan on Famicom as Mickey Mouse 3 was known on NES as Kid Clown in Nightmare World. Yeah, you know, Garfield, Ghostbusters, Kid Clown, all that shit. But I know what you're wondering.
Jesus,
What about
deixa
Mickey
lá.
Mouse 1 and
Fecha o
2?
site, meu.
I wish I didn't have to answer that, because now we're really going down the rabbit hole, with the emphasis on rabbit. Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle 1 and 2. Yeah, you remember back when I reviewed all those Crazy Castle games? Little did I know, in Japan, it was originally the Mickey Mouse series. Not to be confused with Mickey Mousecapade. But then Mickey Mouse 3
Mickey Mouse.
and 4 branched off. And was there a Mickey Mouse 5? Of course there was a Mickey Mouse 5. Meanwhile, Crazy Castle 5 became all about Woody Woodpecker. So Mickey Mouse and the
Ele é um zoomer, Watson, deixa lá.
Crazy Castle series were like two timelines that temporarily crossed together. Two intersecting comet tales of
Eu tenho que ter
chronological
jogado.
confusion.
Eu tenho que ter
and
jogado
that's not all.
este
The
jogo.
very first Crazy Castle game was on both NES and Game Boy. The Japanese version of the Game Boy version was Mickey Mouse, but the Japanese version of the NES version was Roger fucking Rabbit on the Famicom disk drive.
Animação.
Holy shit! Not to
Adoro a
mention,
animação
the
dele andar.
European version of Crazy Castle 2 was part of the Hugo series.
O quê? Hugo, à esquerda e para a direita, para cima e para baixo, até a caverna das caveiras.
I can't take it anymore. And of course, it all comes down to Bugs Bunny.
What? He's back? Nota-se que é ele.
What's up, Doc?
Jesus.
Are you fit?
What's up, Doc?
You have the nerve to come here and ask me what's up.
Yeah.
Well,
The Classic. Berrar nas live stream. Nunca tive o mínimo de vontade de ver. Vocês já devem ter visto, não é? O que é que ele está a rir para a câmera?
Doc is going to tell you what's up. Because the doc has got a prescription ordered specifically for you, fuckface.
Okay. Well, you're the doc, Doc. Let me have it.
Happy holidays, buddy. Yeah, it's good to see you. Here, try this game out. Yeah, check this out here. Oh man, it's been a long time. Been a long.
Eat my rabbit hole!
Exato.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
Isto é uma referência a Mortal Kombat?
Great.
Please!
Nice touch.
Boa cara de James. O que é esse emote? Para que lado é que... Para que lado é que se vê? Bem, como tem sido costume, não sei o que sentir com este episódio. Não sei o que é que saiu daqui no meu coração. Para a direita. Tem um chapéu. Ah, pois é. Ok, tô... James Face. Também deve dar com um C grande, não? Para que lado é que é o C? Ah, está ao contrário. Ora bem.
Hey y'all, Scott.
Isto é 30 minutos. E depois também que eu quero vou levar o cão à rua e almoçar. Você sabe o que ele diz? Um bocadinho.
Here. Gosh, I want to play this video game, but it's just too complicated. I don't know. Bingo! How do you know Grandpa will like a video game? I just know. But hey, sometimes it can be hard to tell, which is where Nintendo comes into the picture. During the reign of the Nintendo DS and Wii systems, more people than ever before were picking these things up to play a bit of Brain Age and Nintendo.
I'm not a DS guy. Mas teve o Professor Layton.
Dogs, Wii Fit, games that anybody could understand regardless of their level of gaming know-how. Which is why Nintendo started labeling these games as, you fucking idiot.
You read them,
know as
Evan.
much
Make
as
them
I
put
did.
this
Seriously, you fucking... Later known as Touch Generations. Yeah, you
Ah!
ever pick up a game from
quase
one of these two
vomitava.
systems and notice that little
Vais indo
logo
e
in the
voltas
corner?
depois?
I mean, it was pretty
É
easy to
logo.
put two and two together. Pretty much any game with the Touch Generations logo was very accessible and appealed to a much wider demographic than a 25-year-old white boy. Makes you wonder why they chose the name
Pack your beak.
Touch Generations when they could have gone for the much more blatant buy this, Grandpa. Because what does this mean? Is this logo supposed to speak to the casuals like, that's me? But hey, anything to help Grandpa buy me a video game can't hurt. Grandpa, that's arsenic. Touch Generations.
Eu acho que jogar videogames com os nossos pais teria sido... Eu teria adorado bastante jogar videogames com os meus pais, mas nunca aconteceu.
Isn't a series per se, rather a marketing line, giving specific DES and Wii games the logo to show how
O que é que vocês vão almoçar? E a que horas é que vão? Tenho curiosidade. Eu comprei um franguinho eu comprei o frango porque o prazo acabava hoje e ficava mais barato. Eu sou um fonas. Olha, eu disse à Catarina para ir logo. Não me digas, a tua mãe está-te a fazer os standees, ó delegado?
they're fine-tuned for a general audience, unlike some games like Fossil Fighters. Dad, stay away!
Tu trabalhas na empresa, não é? Eu gostava de dizer uma coisa sobre isso.
Hey, this logo was introduced on June 5th, 2006 here in North America with the
bué da
Big Brain
bom, mano.
Academy and Magnetica, and shortly after, many previously released titles would be re-released with the logo now in the box art's corner. Was anything else changed? The printer used more ink. This logo is something added after.
Ah, ok, então tu já estou outra vez. Fuck, a DS. Eu não gosto da DS. Mas a DS teve alguns jogos que eram mesmo muito bons.
Fact, it never really felt like Nintendo went out of their way to create Touch Generations games. They would make their games and decide later on if it fit the requirements. Now, what were the requirements? This line spans
Não gosto da consola. A consola é feia. Nunca gostei.
dozens upon dozens of titles across.
O Elite Beat Agents é ok até. Como fã de Rhythm Games. Caralho! Ui! Foda-se! Eu vou comprar a máscara do Eustace. Alguém aqui sabe quem é o Eustace?
North America, Europe, Australia, and Japan. Some only carrying the Touch Generations logo in specific countries, while either releasing in other regions.
Não é que eu não tenha jogos na DS, eu tenho jogos na DS. Porque a minha prioridade é jogos. Se os jogos são fixes,
Regions like normal or staying exclusive to specific ones. If you want to experience everything Touch Generations had to offer, I mean, man, there are over 50 titles with this branding, and some games that have it in North America don't have it in Europe, and vice versa. There's so many Japanese exclusives. Did everybody who comes up to me for advice on where to start with
the
Touch
things I do
Generations
for
games-
love.
There's nobody here.
Stupid dog.
Thank God, I got nothing. Might as well take a look at all of these to see what makes a Touch Generations game a Touch Generations game. Going in no particular order, let's start with
Adoras Tetris DS? Tem alguma coisa nova em relação ao Tetris? Da Game Boy Color?
Nintendogs was an absolute phenomenon, being released as numerous versions, which just changed what
Dun,
rated
dun,
dogs
dun,
did
dun,
from
dun,
the
dun.
start. This was one of the best pet simulators of all time. I mean, look at how well animated these dogs are for being 3D models on the damn Nintendo DS.
The damn Nintendo! Olha passear o cão. Olha que giro, estás a ver, Zelda? Eu, em vez de te arranjar a ti, devia-te arranjar no Nintendogs. Não achas? Não achas?
It effectively used the
Ao menos a Nintendo podia levá-la para o Natal.
DS touchscreen to the best of its ability, showing how this is a game that just wouldn't have been the same on the PlayStation Portable or on a home console with a standard controller. You needed a touchscreen. You needed a microphone to scream at mammals. And it's all so damn
Sabe, estou a chatear a
intuitive.
cadela.
It's the first input method you think of when you see a polygonal dog. It all came together. Playing it now, the original Nintendogs is ridiculous.
Estou a reliar a cadela.
It's just a solid loop of feed dog, clean dog, play dog, walk dog, train dog, win cash. It's still incredibly charming, but I do think a lot of that feeling comes from nostalgia. I played this to death back in 2007. Everything from what you were doing down to how you were doing it was so
Yeah.
damn novel. Thus, let's do some math.
Amanhã.
Here. We have a pet simulator, which
Eu amanhã vou abandonar a cadela.
looking at the craze surrounding Tamagotchis, we know those are big.
Tamagotchi.
Using a touchscreen and microphone in 2005 to do things like pet a virtual animal and also do some light voice recognition, which I'm pretty sure around this time we were all struck.
Espero
at
que uives muito,
Couple
cão.
that with the pet we were raising being dogs, puppies, not some weird ass creature made up for the game. Now you show this to Dad, and he goes, "That's a dog." It's easy to see how Nintendogs appeal to everybody, with its simple and intuitive controls, easy to grasp concept, with a theme most general consumers wouldn't be embarrassed to admit they're playing.
Eu consigo, se levasses um videojogo para o espaço, eu consigo imaginar as pessoas, muita gente a levar pelo menos o Nintendogs, não?
A game about. Ew, you're playing that? And not the sequel? Nintendogs was destined for success, especially in 2005 when we really hadn't seen something like this work so well and be so understandable. And this was all a part of then Nintendo president Satoru Iwata's blue.
Devia-se chamar Seaman com E, não achas? Que má, que oportunidade desperdiçada.
promotion strategy, which was to focus on a market that was untapped rather than compete in a market that's already well established, in this case being more core gaming experiences you'd find on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Let's try and attract others.
Ei, um minuto de silêncio para o nosso Iwata. Eu acho que ele era inspiring, também era um great programmer, também para nós, não é? Anyway, o que eu te perguntei foi, delegado, tu trabalhas na empresa, certo? Vais lá pelo teu próprio pé e sais de casa, não é? Que merda. Eu digo que merda porque eu sinto que desde que vim para casa que sou muito mais produtivo. A sério? Eu acho que a Nintendo ficou uma brand mesmo fixe nesta altura. Porque eles tinham de tudo. Tinham estes jogos que também são serious games. Eu acho bem que haja serious games. Mas também tinha tinha os gamer games. Lá está, ele era super inspiring.
People to the world of gaming with different games, simpler games,
Sabes que jogo era aquele, não sabes? Fuck, eu tenho que, no Porto, tenho que ver se está lá o meu Rhythm Heaven. Eu tenho o Mega Mix na 3DS, mas eu prefiro da DS.
Thus, the Wii,
Third party nesta era, meu Deus.
Touch Generations line as a whole start to make a whole lot more sense. You can
Shovelware.
hate these types of games all you want. I'm a gamer. I don't want to pet a dog. I want to fuck my wife. But you can't.
I want to fuck my wife.
To the insane
Damn.
sales numbers we're seeing with gaming these days. Touch Generations introduced so many to the world of video games who later went on to try more in-depth experiences.
Pois.
So yeah, these games are far more important than I think people give them credit for.
Timeline and like,
Okay, that was a funny edit. That was nice.
I might be missing a limb.
100 classic books. What were you expecting? As far as I'm concerned, this game does everything it sets out to do, unlike others. Where the fuck are the
I'll give it up.
slugs? This title was developed by Genius Seniority after they made Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I think Nintendo caught on to how that game used words. So on to 100 classic books for them. A collection of 100 public domain writings from the 1800s. These are all free. What was stopping them from doing 100?
Eu não sei se será assim tão ocasional quanto isso. Eu acho que a Wii tem várias hidden gems. É estranho. Não posso transformar a minha DS num e-reader. Oh my god.
Tiny the DS screens are, love the text.
Read the book. Yo, mas a DS é boa para, não é? Tem dois ecrãs, podes folhear, não é?
A book
Sim,
like The Time
parece-me
Machine
bem.
by H.G. Wells is normally around 84 pages long. In 100 classic books,
Uma pilha de diarreia. Estou a pensar, quem é que fez o review? Não sei se fizeram review, mas eu lembro que os Grumps estavam a jogar para aí 3. Eles jogaram para aí 5, 6 jogos que eram da mesma empresa e eram claramente. E os jogos entre eles eram asset flips. Não eram? Os gajos. Essa empresa, já não me lembro qual era, mas essa empresa estavam sempre a fazer o mesmo jogo e a mudar os assets. Ninja Bread e os Ninja Bread Games, bora chamar-lhes assim. Um era themed como Ninja Bread e os outros eram. Era todo o mesmo jogo, I guess.
books using the
Que
smallest
foi?
font
Estás
size
preocupada
option
com o cão
is now
abandonado?
649 pages.
Já passou.
And that's just the price you have to pay.
Olhem, eu acho que vou ter que me ir embora porque parece-me que vai chover daqui a uns 10 minutos.
You can print off PDFs of all these books for free.
Quero tu no Visão o mesmo jogo. Eu com isto, o que é que eu quero dizer com isto? É que é verdade que havia muita diarreia, mas às vezes essa muita diarreia, a quantidade, não era? Tinha a ver com o facto de uma empresa ter lançado 10 jogos iguais. Não é?
The point is, f Nintendo. This is one of the most
São todos diarreia, né?
Nintendo's ever created and doesn't even have an ESRB rating. Though we do have quizzes to take in order to figure out what book we're in the mood for. For what it is, I do find
Party Games, estou-me a lembrar.
Smartphone revolution.
Achas que eu tento ver Game Grumps para nostalgia? Nesta altura, estou-me a sentir meio nostálgico.
Charm, you know?
Sabes qual é uma playthrough que eu gostava? Era peraí. Era um board game. Eles nunca acabaram, só teve para aí 5 episódios. $80? Que esta merda. Eu já não vejo Eu já não vejo o Game Grumps há muitos anos. Esquece, o jogo eu não vou encontrar este jogo. Ele era muito refundido. Mickey Mouse. Era um videogame que jogava como um board game. Mas o jogo parecia mesmo fixe. Isto se calhar foi funny. Funny joke. Mas espera, deixa-me saber. Battle Chess. Isto é aquele que tem aquelas animações mesmo fixe. Isto é aquele que tem aquelas animações. É quase como se fosse o. Quem é que se lembra de um jogo chamado Fire Emblem? É quase uma Fire Emblem. Se puseres uma. Juntas as peças e depois elas têm grande animação a matarem-se um ao outro e o caralho. Man, se calhar vou deixar isto para ver depois. Eu queria voltar a ver Game Grumps, mas eu estou demasiado velho. Já estou gasto. Não consigo ver. Não consigo ver Grump. Como é que eu filtro estes vídeos? Como é que eu filtro por data? Isso é que era. Quero vídeos de 2016. Ih, pois é, eles jogaram este jogo da Wii U. Como é que se chamava? Cão. Olha que isto é mais ou menos desta altura. Isto está muito a mal, meu. Este bairro. Uns a ladrar, outros a uivar. Esta aqui está a responder. Cão, se tu respondes mais uma vez, eu vou aí e foto da boca. É agora. É agora que eu te foto da boca. Aqui no meio, para toda a gente ver. É agora. Isto são mesmo vídeos de Game Grumps? Eles mudaram muito os. Isto agora é streams? O content mudou. What the fuck is this? Onde é que está o advanced search disto? Zelda. Levo-te para a casa do Watson e ficas lá. Home Improvement? Não. Doki Doki Play. Tu lembras? É uma playthrough mesmo muito refundida, tipo. Mas eu queria voltar a ver isso. Vocês importam-se que eu esteja a fazer esta pesquisa? Fuck. Eu posso continuar, Scott. Esquece. É tipo um board game pai da PlayStation. O nome nunca me vou lembrar. E nem sequer foi popular. Eu sou o hipster das playthroughs, meu. Sou o hipster, as in, só, é aquelas cenas que só eu conheço. Jesus. Não é isto, mas isto soa-me fixe. Espera, eu estou a dizer que não é isto, mas... 2 years ago. Não, não foi 2 years ago.
Welcome back, everybody.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
Soka. Whoa.
Ow!
Oh.
Ow!
What happened?
Okay.
Ui, vou ter que banir. Como é que se bane? Banido.
Sorry. The way I was sitting, I had the laptop
É capaz de ser.
applying gentle.
É capaz de ser este. Mas 2 anos atrás. Não, eu acho que há 2 anos atrás já não via. Já não via Game Grumps.
Pressure to my knees, like $40,000. Is that correct?
Foi um bot.
That's not correct.
And then in the next turn, I'm gonna get the goal. Yay!
Yup. You're in great shot.
Oh,
In
I
shape.
like this.
What am I
like this
saying?
A lot.
Eu acho que não é isto, mas acho que
And
vou
I'm
ver.
24
Eu acho que vou ver. E eu acho que eu lembro-me de estar triste, tipo, oh, porque isto tem poucos episódios. Até bate certo com o que eu me lembro.
pretty sure I can get this.
I'm gonna clinch this from you, baby.
Ooh, proper Taz.
Yeah. Mas isto não foi seen before. Soviet Jump Game. Estou a jogar Sonic Heroes há 2 anos atrás, ok. Não me lembro. Não me lembro. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, I can't remember. Deixa eu ver. Resident Evil 3? Damn. Eu em 2019 talvez ainda visse Game Grumps. Seja como for, depois vou ver aqueles 6 episódios. Ver o que é que se passa. Blair Witch. Heave Ho. Eu acho que ainda cheguei a tempo de ver Heave Ho. E achei que este jogo, como co-op, muito giro, certo? Tenho que jogar com alguém um dia. O Portal está barato, portanto sou capaz de comprar o Portal. Estava-me a queixar no outro dia. Era só esperar um bocadinho. Olá, só alguém um dia. Nice. E ho! Ei, os cães não se calam aqui no bairro, meu. Será que é mesmo alguém que... Que cena. Three years ago. Oh, porquê que eu não estou a ver isto por... Ei, eu estou a ser estúpido. Podia ter posto isto por procurar as playlists ou whatever. Olha o Devil's Third. Eu lembro-me de estar a ver, ainda via Grumps quando eles fizeram o Devil's Third. E acompanhei. Isto é aquele jogo que é mesmo fixe? Devolver Digital, é. Nunca experimentei, infelizmente. Mas a ideia está mesmo gira. Ah, fuck, não vai mostrar o gameplay. Ok, caga nisso. No preview. Bem, that's it for now nisto. Vou só ver um bocadinho mais disto.
Something that has absolutely
Um medo que
no
chova.
use today, but you can think back to the late 2000s, early 2010s, and see how this could be kind of convenient. Sure, e-readers like the Kindle and smartphones and tablets were taking off, but they weren't nearly as popular as they are today.
Que arranjar
So the idea of reading a book on your DS
Pois.
wasn't too absurd. And that can be attributed to the fact many Touch Generations titles, including this one, use the Nintendo DS on its side, like a book. For casual users, I bet this felt far more natural, especially in a game where you're using the stylus to write. And the most iconic title that did this was easily Brain Age. This, alongside
Brain
Nintendogs,
Age.
dominated the list of best-selling Nintendo DS games. They helped propel the DS as a standard in anybody's pocket, young or old. It didn't matter. Everybody had
Anybody's
Brain Age, because
pocket.
Everybody was stupid enough to think it would work. You
Qual é que é o Brain sequela?
really thought you'd get smarter by doing
Eu devia levar isso para levar para... Ei! Empresta-me isso, meu. Para eu levar amanhã para o Natal.
10 math problems a day? It's no wonder the United
Pera, eu já não uso a minha DS. Desculpa, 3DS.
States
Never mind.
crack down on games claiming to train your brain.
Thank God.
Well, while a game like Brain Age is
Ainda
gonna
funciona.
make you smarter, it for sure can make you sharper. Presented by Dr. Kawashima, real guy, just in this game, they took some artistic liberties. He was responsible for loads of studies and
Dr.
eventually a book
Kimishima.
detailing how basic math problems and other mental exercises can aid in avoiding issues like dementia, for example. Now, that doesn't mean this is a surefire way to cure that kind of stuff, but it can help many stay on top of things, and what better way to utilize this research than to create a video game out of it to make it as easy as possible for users to follow Dr. Kawashima's advice. Quick math problems,
Quick maths?
puzzles, and mental exercises presented in a way
Tem que arranjar
that
este
is
jogo.
more like a high score-based video game rather than homework. That's what makes Brain Age special. It has some of the most basic, boring sounding content at its core, math, but turns it into something where you want to get better at solving problems and faster at solving problems. Oh my god! That's 5 gallons of water! Writing out numbers
Não foi funny, mas eu rimo, ok? Depois lembrei-me de como é que está a ser a minha experiência no Satisfactory. Peraí, como é que eu resolvo isto? Divide aqui, faz ali, acolá.
and letters with the stylus.
Se eu tivesse um filho, só lhe dava jogos desse género. Ele, mas papá, quero jogar o God of War. Vai-te foder, puto! Vai jogar o jogo da matemática! Yes!
Mostly works okay. Nintendo, whatever you say in front of me, you can say in front of my fives. We even have a Sudoku mode. Well, I have some books, so we'll decline. But let's be fair here. Sudoku in Brain Age may be the greatest adaptation of the game. I love how you only have 5 mistakes you can make. It really makes you critically think a lot more, and when you get a number right, the ding sound is so satisfying.
It's easy to write Brain Age off as just math homework with gimmicks to make it all feel more gamey.
Mas é
But there's
fixe.
far more depth to it than it may initially seem.
Tinhas
It
uma
actually
máquina de Sudoku.
incentivizes
Oh,
you
quem
to
me
get
dera.
better and better at math problems while also being fun.
It must be a witch!
Following up that title was
Cool.
Brain Age 2, which is less of a sequel and more of a second volume. It's not like Brain Age brought to the next level, it's more so Brain Age with different minigames. So I'd say Brain Age 2 isn't really Brain Age 2, it's another Brain Age. These are completely interchangeable. If you didn't play one of them, I don't think that means you're missing out on anything.
I think that just means you're a coward.
But just a few months after the first Brain Age's release, Nintendo launched Big Brain Academy. What does this game do differently? Deserve at least a teen rating. I never realized how close to each other these two released, which definitely makes me question why. Big Brain Academy is more of a game than Brain Age, which makes me feel like I'm some kind of guinea pig doing an experiment. Big Brain is more colorful and lively, with less of an emphasis on math and more on brain teasers.
I guess.
It's cool.
It's really hard to say, oh, well, this is why Brain Age exists, and this is why Big Brain Academy exists.
Is that a Goomba?
Because while they're visually distinct, at the end of the day, these are pretty much the same type of thing. I guess Brain Age is more aimed at older people, while Big Brain Academy is targeted at kids. Okay. Flash Focus was marketed similarly to Brain Age, having a comparable tagline
Não estava a reconhecer.
on the front cover. This one's all about training your eyes, being more aware of your surroundings while also staying relaxed. This one doesn't hit nearly as hard as the brain training games. See, those worked because the minigames included were very much the type of things you'd find in homework, but now made fun. You know, that was the point of that title. It gave it purpose. It made it unique. The activities in Flash Focus are like follow the ball under the cup, which is the most overused type of minigame. You'd find that in any Mario Party, yet here, it's stripped down to the bare minimum visually. Sure, that was fine in Brain Age, but here, it feels like they forgot to finish the game. Other exercises can be more visually appealing, but like, this does nothing for me. How is this training my vision? I'm just playing a boxing mini game. If this game was actually
What's happening?
just one sight, oh, no more corrective lenses for me. Sudoku Gridmaster. Now, I did really enjoy Sudoku in Brain Age, so a full game of nothing but? Why wouldn't you just buy Brain Age? That had Sudoku plus Brain Age. Sudoku Gridmaster is just Sudoku, and it isn't as intuitive or snappy as the mode in Brain Age. There are 400 puzzles in this one, though, compared to Brain Age 100. But after the 100th Sudoku puzzle, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to remember the solutions to the first one, so who cares? Just replay them. This is a perfectly fine Sudoku game at the end of the day, but it's similar to Big Brain Academy in the sense that it has so many of the same things Brain Age has, while also being published by Nintendo within a 3-month window of Brain Age's release. Why not just buy Brain Age? Well, why not be the Gridmaster?
Damn, they got me.
Crosswords DS, or Crossword DS. Has Nintendo ever officially said how to pronounce this title? That's the price you pay for being cute. This is a collection of crossword puzzles. And word searches. This is just nice,
Whoa.
you know? There's not much more to it.
That was
It
close.
feels like Sudoku from Brain Age, but crosswords. There's loads of puzzles, word searches if you're a fucking baby. This, I can see my parents enjoying quite a lot, so it really seems like the Touch Generations line is for them.
With a gun to their head.
Yeah, let's get into some titles that carry the logo that just really should have carried anything else. Not that these are bad games, far from it, but like, Jesus, dude, you're scaring Grandpa. Elite Beat Agents, Rhythm Heaven, Hotel Dusk, Room 215, these are all Touch Generations games, much like how I'm one too. These are all DS classics that are, yes, easier to understand and pick
Oh, pessoal, o que é que veio primeiro? Foi o Elite Beat Agent, certo? Só depois é que veio o Oz, certo?
up and play compared to the Dark Spire. But I mean, to my dad, there's not a damn difference between these two. These are a lot more flashy, in your face, and complex compared to the other titles. These are actual video games. Elite
Eu quero saber qual copiou qual.
Beat Agents is one of the DS's best. It's a rhythm game based on a Japanese-only title that used these guys instead of agents. North America loves agents. But we also love, like, ducks, so I'd be interested to see the reason behind this choice. This game is pure wacky-ass Nintendo. The same wacky-ass Nintendo you'd only expect to see in the Japan-only joints, but no, this is a heavily westernized version of a game from Japan. The visuals are all so mesmerizing to watch. It's over the top and knows that. This game just aims to be fun, not only with presentation, but the gameplay as well.
DS é 2000s, não é?
Tap the circles that appear in order to the beat. It's very easy to understand, but incredibly difficult to master, which is a crucial element of some of the greatest games of all time. And do they have a cover of Skater Boy? There's only 19 songs featured throughout the whole game, and they are all covers, but I will give Nintendo this. They are all licensed tracks from actual artists, unlike other rhythm games they've done, where the most they can do is the fucking Pledge of Allegiance. But here, these are legitimate
É verdade, eu já joguei este jogo.
songs, and while they are covers, they're pretty good covers. It all just adds up to this being an essential game in anybody's DS library, except for Dad. Well, yeah, the gameplay is easy to understand. This does
Este jogo é fixe, eu é que não sou Ozu fan.
stick out quite a
Mas
bit
não é
as a
meu.
Touch Generations game. It feels more like they made it one to potentially ease casual players to try something with some kick to it, and thus help a game in a brand new series sell a little better. Damn, if that's what this logo can do, why not put it on everything? You're the method. Another game I find to be a little peculiar
Desculpem.
here. I mean, the way Nintendo
Peck your
advertised it
beak.
initially was almost like this was
Olha, mesmo o nível do Peck Your Beak.
another form of Brain Age. Oh, I have to get my rhythm training in
Estás a ver quando ele faz 3 vezes? Back your beak.
for the day. They went above and beyond to attract the casual audience.
Ganda Jennifer
creating
Lopez.
A whole marketing campaign centered around Beyonce
Ai não é a Beyoncé, desculpem, para mim são todas iguais.
just simply playing the game. Oh man, if
Hashtag tudo puta.
Beyonce's playing it, it must be real. Pretty wild the game was marketed like this initially because I don't know about you, but when I think Rhythm Heaven these days, my mind doesn't go to something they'd get. This series can be so damn difficult sometimes, and the DS one, for me personally, is more complicated than the other entries. Okay, complicated. A branch is more complicated than a stick. Just how the others simply use one button, this one we use the touchscreen and flick it.
I love this game.
Ooh. Regardless,
Este é o meu segundo rhythm game preferido. Em primeiro é o do Final Fantasy. No 3DS.
Rhythm Heaven is a joy. One of the most unique and lovable rhythm games of all time. Even if you're real bad at it, you still...
Do-up. Olha, vais ver com a boca dele. Ele diz mesmo do-up. Do-up, do-up, do-up. Peraí, olha.
Lovable rhythm games of all time. Even if you're real bad at it, you still end each minigame with a smile. Unlike Elite Beat Agents, which actively is telling you exactly when you need to tap the circle, Rhythm Heaven plays everything out in a way where just glancing at it, some people may not realize it's a music game. These are all completely different minigames, but at their core, they're all about keeping the beat, listening to audio cues, and watching the visuals to know the exact right time to tap or hold.
Man.
Or flick.
What a
It's
game.
really cool because something like the Rhythm Rally game, you could
O
technically
ping
play
pong.
that like
O last stage do ping pong super fast era tão awesome.
it was just a standard ping pong game. It would be damn hard, but that prepares you for the rest of life. My uncle died.
I've dealt with harder.
Rhythm Heaven is so unique with how it crafts rhythm minigames that conceptually have nothing to do with rhythm, and because of that, it simultaneously creates a rhythm game that doesn't just involve hitting the right button when the icon hovers over the right area like any other rhythm game. I think contextualizing
That is true.
Realizing
Olha para
rhythm in
isto.
these ways can actually really help you understand music better. I find myself nodding my head to the beat way more playing Rhythm Heaven than in Guitar Hero, for example. And because of that, like, yeah, honestly, now I can see why Nintendo may have
Caga,
marketed
meu. Perfeito em tudo.
the game like this.
Let's go.
In some ways, it is kind of like Brain Age for music, just with a much more fun presentation. Don't get me wrong, this looks fun in one of those less fun than Rhythm Heaven kind of ways, like Taxes. But out of all the games under the Touch Generations label, Rhythm Heaven is one of the most unique.
Ba, ba, ba. Era o Jazz Choir, não era?
Everlasting experiences. We'll get to True Swing Golf, but for now, Hotel Dusk Room 215. Finally, something other than gas prices to confuse the elders. A point-and-click adventure game with 3D first-person movement using the touchscreen.
Whoa.
Translation for the casuals?
It just says no.
I get why Nintendo may have considered this a game anybody can get into.
Aquilo parece OC de Sonic.
It says no.
I get why Nintendo
Isto. Não?
may have considered this a game anybody can get into. A mystery visual novel type experience. Most people can understand
E isto parece videoclipe dos Haha.
that, though I feel this gets a bit too ambitious for a general audience. An impressive game on the DS by all accounts. I mean, they really pushed to create a unique experience visually and gameplay-wise.
That's pretty cool.
There's not much else like Hotel Dusk, but I feel like a game like Professor Layton is far more casual-friendly, with that
Setor Leitão, caralho!
also being a puzzle game with point-and-click elements. But guess what got the Touch Generations blessing? Well, that too. Electroplankton. Don't fucking try that. Another game that... Oh, I already fucked up. I think it's a bit much to call this a game. It's pretty much a musical, visual, interactive fish moment.
Oh, it's one of those, huh?
Electroplankton is more of an experiment, one that encourages the player to harness their artistic side, to make eloquent movements via the touchscreen, to craft unique music heard nowhere else. That's the funny way to say, poke the fish, they scream loud. I don't dislike this experience.
Olha o Toga voltou.
That's all it is, an experience. An experience I find fairly limited in its appeal, one that was sold for $30.
Já falamos, já se esteve a falar de jogos
You can say
que nós gostamos, já passou.
of the sounds you create. There's nothing to do other than move the electroplankton around to make interesting noises that can sometimes end up sounding like actual music.
Isto parece o pingo, aqueles jogos da feira.
Art or science museum, something you could walk right up to and interact with and then move on to the next attraction.
Olha as linhas de comboio. Estás ready? olhar para estas linhas de comboio já estou.
Which is exactly what the designer Toshio Iwai was known for.
Toshio
Art
Iwai!
focusing on music that looks exactly like Electroplankton. Within that context, Electroplankton makes so much more sense, just not as a $30 retail game. It retains the spirit of Toshio Iwai's work, but because of that, it really does feel like an attraction you admire for 5 minutes and then move on. So there's value here as an art piece, just not as a game. It's completely understandable as to why it received a limited release in North America.
Electroplankton.
Later on, they divided the game up into 10 separate applications.
Faz Reddit?
No DSi shop for 2 bones of
Olha,
The problem is,
olhem, eu tenho mesmo que ir embora. Tratar de cenas. Futebol! Desejo-vos um excelente Natal. Não, eu de tarde não sei o que é que vou fazer, mas depois eu descubro. Watson, logo vamos comer, não é? E a quem eu não vir, desejo-vos um Feliz Natal e umas boas festas. Acho que não tenho certeza. Excelentes festas. Beijoco.